welcome back to Sunday School video again. Today we are starting on a new unit. Okay, I want to catch you up just a little. If you remember back at Christmas time, we read the stories of the birth of Jesus. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Good. Well, we are going to skip back to the New Testament, okay? But we're going to skip a lot of Jesus' life, okay? I can tell you that after Jesus was born, okay, he kept living a normal life, okay? Normal for them in those days, pretty much, okay? We don't know a whole lot about his childhood, okay? There is not a lot written in the Bible about his childhood. But we know that when he was around 33 years old, okay, so he was a grown-up, and he began traveling around teaching people about what God wanted, okay? Actually, I think 30 years old, not 33. Anyway, and so he began traveling around teaching people about Jesus. Okay? And eventually, it's true that he came to a time in his life when he knew that he was going to have to die, okay? And during this season of the year, does anybody know what it's called?
Easter!
No, it's not Easter, it's Lent, exactly, okay? The time before Easter is called Lent. The time before Christmas is called Advent. And the time before Easter is called Lent, okay? And it's the time where we think about some of the things Jesus did in his adult life, okay? At the end of his life, some of the lessons that he taught us, and some of the things that happened to him as he prepared to complete his life on earth and do the things that God sent him to do, okay? God had a very specific mission for sending Jesus to earth, and Jesus knew he had to complete that. Okay? And we're going to learn more and more about that as we go along. You should have received a bag this week. If you didn't, let me know and we'll get you one. Okay? I'm not going to pull out everything in this bag. Okay? I am going to touch on a couple of things. First thing, if you still have the crackers in your bag, I highly recommend that you go put them in the pantry or a kitchen cupboard, someplace safe. Okay? Go put these in the kitchen. Go. Okay? Because they will get broken up if you leave them in your bag, and if your bag gets trampled or kicked at all. Okay? Also, please remember to be gentle when people in your house make mistakes and not always be first to blame. Okay? Even if you know who did it, sometimes you don't have to say, okay? Sometimes you choose to have grace and be kind to the person who made a mistake, okay? Another thing you can do is find your green folder. It's probably not in your bag, okay? Your green folder might be somewhere else, maybe in your old bag or something, okay? Because we have in your bag, you have new handouts to put in. Okay? You can hold these. We're going to open the green folder.
Unclip them?
We are going to take out all the things about Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Esau, that whole unit. You can take it all. You can open the prongs, open up the little prongs, and take out the whole unit. If there are still papers in the back here, you can take them out, okay? It's okay if you didn't get to everything, if you missed some things. It's okay to recycle it and let it go. Okay, would you set those over there, please? Just on the floor, out of the camera is fine. Colin, can you take these from you? Just take, no. Okay? Okay, first, take off the big paper clip. I'll set it in my folder like I do, clip it to the little pocket, okay? Then you will find two sections, okay? The one has the green title, Okay, the other does not have holes. These are your handouts. There's a yellow sticky note on the top of it. These go in the pocket, just like before. Okay, this section with the holes, hi, you can take off the paper clip, put the paper clip somewhere safe, and put these lessons in the prongs. Okay, like this, and close them up. Like this, and separate those prongs so they hold, like this. Okay, now you have your new lesson all set with lessons for the next 5 weeks from today, February 28th, until March 28th, which is the week before Easter. Okay, this unit goes all the way until the week before Easter, and then we'll get another unit about Easter. Okay?
2 units about Easter?
That is that one. No, Lent, and then Easter. Okay?
Oh.
The next thing
It's 3:30.
if you have not yet taken out your fish banks, if you would like to do your fish banks, you may get them out and color them. Markers usually work best because of this slippery paper. Okay, crayons and colored pencils have a hard time working on the fish banks. Okay, but you can work this week on coloring your fishies, and then in Sunday school I'll teach you how to fold them. Okay, so that you'll have those. And let's see, anything else I want to tell you about? Oh, if you haven't already gotten out your calendar and your map for 1 Great Hour of Sharing, you can get that out and look at that and look at the different things that you can do for each day to think about how to help people around the world and think about ways to collect a little bit of change to put in your fish bank.
Can I put
You can do that
some of my own money in there?
Yes, you can do that all if you want to. Okay, the last thing that I want for you to find in your bag are the candles. You should have 5 candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay. We need all of these candles. Yes, you can pull out the little things that keep them from working. Give me the trash. 5 little pieces of trash here. 3.
Should I do another? I only got to do 1. I already did that.
He did them all.
My 1 didn't already
Have
got
it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
One of them I already opened.
Here. 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 I'd like for you to light all of your candles.
Whoa. Ooh.
Okay. And set them all up. Here, let's put them here so they show. Okay. There we go.
One's not on.
It's on. It doesn't show as well as the others, I guess.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay, yeah, that one does look really different, huh? Okay, well, anyway, that's what I got. Okay, yours should all be the same, okay? All right.
Emily?
There we go. Okay. We're going to open in a prayer, and I'd like for you to repeat. Lord of Kings.
Lord of Kings. Lord of Kings.
And little children.
And little children.
We welcome you.
We welcome you. We welcome you.
Into our holy space.
Into our holy space. Into our holy space.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Right. I want to explain to you. Does anybody have an idea? Can you not sing while I teach? Can you stop? Thank you. No, really. Stop. Thank you. Does anybody know why we lit 5 candles?
5 weeks.
5 weeks until
Easter.
5 weeks until Jesus dies. Okay. What are we going to do with these candles?
It's Sunday school. Usually, for like Advent, like what we do, like we each lit a candle every Sunday. So it would be the opposite.
Yeah. This is the
So
opposite.
we lit them all this Sunday. The first.
And we will light one less each week as we count down to when Jesus will die. Okay? It's a reminder of what's going to happen.
Does Jesus come alive on Easter?
Yes. Okay? So that day we will light them all again.
Oh,
Okay?
Good Friday is when he dies?
Yes.
Oh.
All right. So we will light one less as we count down to Jesus' death, but we know that that will not be the end of the story, and we will light them all again the next week. Okay, so that is the good news that we know, because we know the end of the story. But the people in our story did not. Okay, so I'd like to draw your attention to your Growing in God's Love Story Bible. If you don't have it, go get it. Can you grab ours right here? Thank you. We are going to start on page 270. That's much further in the back than we have been. We've been up here in the front learning about Abraham and all those guys. Now we're working our way to 270. Okay?
Can I go to it?
I think I got it right here. Thank you, though. 270. Here we go, okay? And this is at the beginning of a unit called, if I go back one to 269, it's a unit called Endings and Beginnings, okay? And the ending would be of Jesus' life on earth, but the beginning would be the rest of the story after Jesus has done what he came to do, okay? So we're going to go to page 270, and we're going to hear the story of when Jesus visits Jerusalem. This is from the book of Luke, chapter 19, verses 29 through 40. Hear now the word of the Lord.
Palm Sunday?
Yes, this is Palm Sunday. What kind of trips do you like to take with your family or friends?
I like to go like in nature trips.
Hiking and camping?
Yeah.
Good. What about you, Colin? Thinking?
Fish?
Do you like to go fishing? Okay. All right. So you guys both picked nature ones.
No, I think fishing is a little boring.
Oh, okay.
Camp.
That's fair. Camping too. Okay, good. Well, how about this? Have you gone on trips in a city or town?
Washington, D.C.? Yeah.
You did get to go to Washington, D.C. Is that the only city you've ever visited?
San Francisco?
Uh-huh.
We've been to... I've been to San Francisco 2 times.
Okay. Yeah. There are other cities that we have visited too. Now, have you been on a plane?
Yeah, when we went to Washington, D.C.
Okay. Have you ever been on a train?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really to go somewhere.
Yeah. It's more like just for a fun ride, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been somewhere in a bus?
Yeah, a few times. In kindergarten, I got to go on a school bus, and I've got to go in city buses.
Yes.
But I don't go in buses as much as some people do.
Yes.
Because we usually travel in our car.
Yeah, we usually travel by car. That is true. When we went to Washington, D.C., we traveled by bus and by
Subway.
Walking and by subway, yeah. Exactly, because we didn't bring our car. Okay. So Jesus...
It's hard to bring a car on a plane.
Yeah. Jesus traveled to lots of cities.
On donkey.
Okay.
On donkey?
Can you speak in complete sentences?
Did he walk and ride on a donkey?
We're going to find out. Okay. Jesus traveled to cities and small towns to teach the people about God's love. One of the most important trips he took was to Jerusalem, the special holy city. While he was there, Jesus gave 2 of the disciples a special task. He said to them, "Go into the village. There you will find a young donkey that no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it to me. I want to ride it into Jerusalem." The disciples were surprised that Jesus wanted a donkey to ride because he always walked everywhere he went. But they loved Jesus and they knew he was an important teacher, so they did what he asked. Jesus told them that if anyone asked why they were taking the donkey, they should tell them that he needed it. They went into the village, found the donkey, just like Jesus had told them. They brought the donkey back to Jesus. The disciples laid cloths on its back so that Jesus could ride it. They kind of stole the donkey.
What?
I mean, not really, but if it belonged to somebody, if it was like tied up in someone's yard. Is that kind of weird?
But Jesus asked them to get it.
I know, Jesus knew it would be there, and it was all part of God's plan. So they didn't really steal it, but the disciples must have felt like they were stealing, right? Excuse me. Now Jesus was ready to ride into Jerusalem. The people following him began to cheer. Crowds lined the streets. Some people joined the disciples and spread their cloaks on the road to welcome Jesus. Others pondered why everyone was so excited about a man entering the city on a donkey. Powerful rulers rode on big war horses, not a donkey. The disciples praised Jesus, singing and shouting for joy because of God's love for them. The people welcomed Jesus with blessings, saying, "Peace." The people who knew Jesus and his teaching about love and peace were excited that he was in Jerusalem. They expected great things from this teacher from Galilee. Some teachers of the law, called the Pharisees, were in the crowd. They did not like Jesus being praised so much when he was not a king. They also worried that Jesus would upset the Roman officials. They thought he didn't deserve all this celebration because he was only a teacher riding a donkey.
He's Jesus.
Yes, a man named Jesus. They didn't know that he was anything special. They said to Jesus, "Teacher, Jesus, tell your disciples to stop praising you like a king. It's not the right thing to do because you're not our king." Right? And Jesus told them, here's what Jesus said, "I tell you the truth. If they were silent and did not sing praises, the very stones on this earth beneath us would shout out." Word of wisdom, word of grace.
Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God. That is the story. He says, "I tell you the truth. If they were silent, even the stones would cry out." Okay, that's a very famous line. Okay, that Jesus knows that the whole earth is excited about what is going to happen. Okay. When have you ever heard people cheer or shout with joy?
Parades. On a parade.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of a parade.
It kind of reminds me of a parade, huh? Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to a parade in real life?
Yeah. I've even 4th of July parade.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know, on Veterans Day at church.
Oh, yeah.
We rode in Papa's.
Right.
Yeah. In our grandpa's Model T.
Yes.
Yes.
So you have seen people shout at a parade. Have you ever been, I don't think you guys have, some of the kids in our video may have been to a big sporting event, okay, like a big football game or a big baseball game.
I don't think I've ever been to
one
of those at the stadium.
I don't think you have.
They're always so late. I've watched a show.
You've watched it you've watched the Super Bowl on TV, right? Okay.
But an event. But that's across the world, so it's earlier here than it is there.
Okay. Here's my point though. People yelling and shouting and cheering, okay? When we watch, we were gonna watch the Olympics this year on TV. That didn't get to happen this spring, this summer. But someday there will be again, and there will be people in the stadiums shouting. Okay, someday, hopefully, our local high school will have football in their stadium again. I know there are kids in our video that probably hear the shouting of the stadium from their house, even. Okay, so hopefully we will have those days again, where we will get to be in a crowd and yell and shout and have a good time. Yes, okay. Who do we see in this story watching Jesus?
Some kids waving palm branches.
Mm-hmm.
Then probably like a grown up and then someone walking the donkey, I think.
Uh-huh.
Then disciples everyone's waving palm branches.
Mm-hmm.
And then these people probably just like walked out the door of their house.
Uh-huh. Yep. Exactly. And they're coming out to see, what is all the commotion about? What is this? Okay.
But how did the first people know that it was Jesus?
Probably the disciples were right there shouting about it. Here comes Jesus! Here comes the great teacher! Okay, they're very excited. Can you think of someone that you would want to celebrate and praise?
God and Jesus.
Of course, yes. Anybody else that you like to celebrate?
Like Nana.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I wish I saw Nana.
Yeah, she died before you were born, unfortunately.
Because I think it was because of like cancer.
Mm-hmm.
She had cancer.
Yeah, it's true.
Is that because of the cigarettes?
Maybe, yes. How about this? We just recently had some holidays to celebrate some of our past presidents. Okay, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, right? President's Day. We have recently had a celebration of Martin Luther King. Okay, you mentioned Veterans Day. Okay, those are days when we can have parades and shout and thank people for all that they have done to help others. Okay, so we can do those kinds of, someday again, we will do parades and we will get to shout and cheer, maybe for a team or maybe for a person who has done something good.
We do birthday parades.
Okay, we watched the inauguration of our new president. Okay, that was a time for a lot of shouting and cheering by a lot of people, right? Okay, so there were lots of times when we do celebrate and we do praise. Okay, there were some people in this story that thought the celebrating and praising should not happen. Okay, why were they concerned?
Because it would upset the Roman officials.
Yes, remember, it's hard to understand that in those days, the people who lived in the towns where Jesus visited, they were all conquered by the Roman Empire, okay? And the Roman king, the Roman emperor named Caesar, was in charge of them. He was their king, okay? And the way they behaved, he was not only their king, he was their biggest god, okay? And they were supposed to worship him.
He was a god?
Well, not really. But the Romans treated him that good, treated him that well, okay? And they praised him like he was a god, okay? To him, he was a god. To them, he was a god, okay? Now, the Jews, the people from Jesus' towns, they knew the Roman emperor was not a god, but they also knew that they better behave or they would get thrown in jail by the Roman soldiers, okay? So they were careful not to upset the Roman soldiers because the Roman soldiers were in charge of them and could do things to them. Okay, send them to jail, take them to court, things like that. We learned a lot about that when we studied Paul, right?
Acts.
Yes. So what we have here is Jesus coming in to Jerusalem on a donkey. It's a very famous story for the beginning of the last week of Jesus' life. Okay? Now we have a few more weeks, and every week we're going to talk about another time during Jesus' last week of his life. So we're going to stretch the last week of Jesus' life out over 5 weeks. Okay, we're going to stretch it out and learn something new every week when we come together.
Wait, so we're stretching 1 week
Into
over
5.
5?
Yes, exactly. Okay.
So each day is a week.
Each day is a week. Each week is a day. Each week is a day. However you look at it. Okay? However you look at it. When you join us on our Zoom class, we're going back to 2 o'clock. We're sticking with our 2 o'clock, okay, this Sunday on Zoom. Colin, would you hand me the bag again, please? Okay. In addition to some of the other things I told you about, this week we're doing the palm leaves. Okay, this is the bag that you will need this week.
Are they glue palms together?
And we are going to, you're each going to learn how to weave a palm leaf into a cross and make a palm cross. Okay?
I've done that before. And
Have you?
And I have one in my room.
Okay.
And I know where it is.
Okay, good. Good. Well, we're going to do that on Sunday together on Zoom. And then I think we're also going to watch a video of another parade on a cartoon movie that you may have seen. I'll tell you about that later, okay? And we'll talk about the differences of the different kings and parades and how they come into their city. Until then, I hope that you are having a good day and a good week. And I think we will wrap this up with a blessing and a prayer. Okay? I want you all to remember that just like Jesus was worthy of celebrating, each of you are a child of God, and you are worth celebrating. Colin, you mentioned birthday parades. Birthday parades have become a thing during quarantine, right? Where people come by your house and honk horns and wave balloons and shout and things like that, okay, at your house. And I know we've had a few, we've gone to a few, there've been a few in our neighborhood. It's really fun. Birthdays are a very special time to celebrate that you are a child of God. You might get a parade, you might not, okay? Everybody gets different things, but the thing to remember is that you are worth celebrating. Would you turn to someone near you right now and touch them and say, ready? Hold my hand. Hold my hand. Okay? You are a child of God. You are a child of God. And you are worth celebrating. And you are worth celebrating. Okay? Turn to someone near you. Say their name. And say, you are a child of God. You are worth celebrating. Okay? Make sure everyone in your house knows that. Let's say a prayer. You can repeat.
Do you know that?
I do. Thank you.
You might kind of be a grown-up, I guess.
A grown-up child of God. Yes, even grown-ups. That's a great question. Even grown-ups.
Even grown-ups are?
Yes.
How
Yes.
in the world?
Put your feet down.
A grown-up of God?
Yes, a grown-up child of God. I'm
Instead
still
of
God's child. I am still God's child. Okay? Say this prayer. You can repeat this prayer after me. Dear God,
Dear God. Dear God.
help us follow where you lead
Help us follow where you lead. Help us follow where you lead.
every day,
Every day. Every day.
in every way.
In every way. In every way.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Peace be with you, and we will see you on Zoom. Bye.